welcome to Two Blokes and a Mic. I'm Dan.
And I'm Ramin. And we're here today to speak to a great guy who runs a wonderful company. And I'm going to let Dan tell you all about this.
Okay, so I'd like to introduce you to Rajat Singhania. He is a friend and is the owner of a fantastic company, Sociorack. And we wanted to bring to you some of the highlights of his product, which is actually called Hylyt. So
it's a highlight.
Yes, it's a fantastic product, and really,
it really is.
When I first saw Hylyt and its development, even right from the beginning, the inception was fantastic. Everything about it was kind of clicking in my mind of, like this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that, and sort of brought a world of organization that I didn't think was possible before. And so I've watched the development it's been over a year, I think, since we first met, and the products have just gotten better and better, to the point that we really did want to bring it to your attention so that you can take a look yourself.
Exactly.
And so just educate.
Tell your friends about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Rajat, welcome to the show.
Without further ado, welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Ramin. My pleasure to be here. Great to be on the show with you guys.
It's great to have you.
It is great to have you. And Rajat, this so one of the things that when I first saw this, and Dan told me about it, and then you showed me the product, one of the things I've always said is that I should have, as a decision maker, as a business person, I should have a means by which I have one place to go to get all of my communications inbound and outbound, right? Mm-hmm. And until I saw your product, I hadn't seen anything that did that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. So our product is, today in our living in a digital world, we end up using a lot of products. Digitalization has given us a lot of options, but it's also kind of put us in a bit of a spot, because we end up using products like Teams, we use Slack, we use emails. In our part of the world, we end up using a lot of WhatsApp, Telegram. There's so many different products, and we have cloud storage, so there's information everywhere. And that kind of creates a big problem for most of us, that when we are really looking for any information, we are never sure where it really is. And we have to juggle between different places, different channels, different places where information could be available. So it's overwhelming.
It's a nightmare. Like, pure and simple, it's a nightmare. You got things here, you got things there, and there are like CRMs that you can plug certain things, you can cut and paste from emails or from whatever into that, but it's never really that helpful or seamless as it should be. And I think that's one of the things that Hylyt has really kind of brought to the table. It makes it seamless.
Correct. Yeah. I agree. Absolutely agree. I'm sorry. Go on. I interrupted you. I was sorry. I was waving the pom poms.
Well, so we created the product for solving exactly this thing. So that you should know where your information is, because that's the whole point of information. That it should be easily and always accessible and usable. Otherwise, how good is that information if you need to spend a lot of time looking for it? So that was the thought behind creating it.
And could you tell us a little bit about the history of the company, and how it was developed, what the original inspiration was, and take us a little bit through there?
Sure, absolutely, be my pleasure, Dan. So, I have been in business for about 30 plus years, and I've done a few businesses. So I was attending a conference with about a dozen odd people for one of my other businesses. And then this information popped up on my mobile screen. And not to be rude, I swiped it, thinking I can go back and look at it next day when I'm back at work, at my office. Next day, I spent a lot of time looking for it, and it was just not to be found. Now, obviously, on hindsight, I could have managed it better. But that created a thought and opened a door that there has to be a better way to do this, because it cannot be like this living in a digital world that you lose information. So then I asked people, if there was a simple and easy way to do this. I asked a lot of tech people dealing in all kind of software products and solutions, and nobody could give me a good answer. So then I asked a few friends and all that, am I the only one facing this problem? How are others dealing with it? So again, the same thing. They said, dude, if you can get me a solution to that, it'll be a killer, because that's a problem we're all living with.
Hmm. And
that's how.
Yeah. And that's the thing
Yeah.
that amazes me, is that we've come this far down the technology path, and he's the only one who's ever come up with.
Now,
And I'm like,
I'm sure
really?
there are competitors, but I've never seen anything
I haven't
that
seen
is
anything.
as good or as comprehensive as Hylyt.
Yeah. So that's how the journey started. Like that, give people a simple and easy way, to save and manage information, no matter what information and where you are. Your go-to place.
Right.
So
Right.
So that's how it started. Obviously, what the thought was on day one and what we have as a final product now, there have been a lot of iterations, a lot of back and forth feedback from customers and well-wishers like you guys, and which helped us create the final product, what we have today, and which is being used by people.
Right.
That's great. And then, so why don't you give us kind of the idea, the sort of 10,000-foot view, and then let's start drilling in.
Oh, okay. Of the product?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure. So now Hylyt is a unified information management and secure collaboration platform rolled into one. What does that essentially mean? A lot of very great collaboration products out there, which people use, or all of us end up using all the time. They obviously solve a significant problem, but on the same side, they also end up creating a bit of a problem, because there are multiple great products, and as it happens, every user is using at least two, if not more, such collaboration products. Add to it, your people are using cloud storage. So there are information sitting there. People use browsers, multiple windows open. How many browser windows do you think you have open on your machine right now? There's information sitting everywhere, right?
Yeah, you don't want to know how many browser windows I have open. It's embarrassing.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. And then you add to it, you end up taking meeting notes whenever you attend any meeting. So either it's a doc file or you put it on some note-taking platform. So there's information there as well. And the list goes on. This is in no means a finite list. So again, it's all information sitting at too many places. And if you needed to connect it, let's say you have a meeting scheduled, a review meeting, a year-end sales review meeting. You could be having a chat conversation with some team members sitting on a chat platform. You could be having notes from a previous meeting sitting on some note-taking platform. You could have some projections made on Excel sitting on cloud storage. You could have some information researched by you of market statistics sitting on your browser. And you could have received something from a colleague on email, 5 different places. And this is just a very small example. This can go really big. So
it goes on forever. It really does.
Yeah. So how do you connect the dots? That's what our product's all about. That we help you connect all the disconnected dots so you can see the complete picture to take the best possible decisions and help you grow your business with the least amount of effort in the best possible manner.
Now, Raja, you had mentioned smart folders before. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, so yeah, so on Hylyt, and now we gave a very interesting concept called smart folders. Now, what happens is we have a folder system where we manage information. We're pretty generic to it, whether it's computer, mobiles, everywhere. Now, everything is sitting in one folder. Now, let's say you want to have a view of specific information from different folders all the time. It could be meeting XYZ criteria. It could be files with a certain name. It could be files of a certain type. It could be files of a certain date range. There's so many different criteria.
Right.
So on Hylyt, what we have done is we have given you multiple parameters on which you can create a smart folder which will look up and pick up information from specific folders, or even since Hylyt does information management and collaboration on the same platform, so it could the smart folders can pick up information whether from the collaboration chats or from the data stored on it as well, based on
Nice.
specific criteria. So you're not really duplicating the data. That's one thing. And secondly, you're seeing the actual information. So anything you do there will get reflected on the original data.
Correct. And
If
if
you're commenting,
somebody does something on the original, it'll get reflected in your smart folder.
absolutely. So
Right.
let's say Ramin, you and Dan have information sitting on two different folders in your respective accounts on Hylyt, and you create a smart folder of information shared between you two guys. Now, if it's something created by you, Ramin, and Dan comments or adds to it, not only will it be there updated in the place it's original, it will also show up on the smart folder.
Right.
Now, the advantage of the smart folder, it helps you manage the, because let's say you want to look up, okay, out of all my information, what are the updates I received in the last 24 hours?
Right.
It will only
Okay.
show you that. Now, let's say you're dealing with clients. You have, let's say, 50 different clients, but 5 key clients. If you want to see only information of those 5 key clients, the smart folder can show you that. If you want to only see updates of where Dan said something, it can show you that. So, so basically, it makes the filing process easier. Your filing can be the way you want it to be, and the smart folders can be the way you want to see it.
Right.
So or maybe you can speak to the difference between a filter and a smart folder.
Sure. So, on a Hylyt now, traditionally in email clients, we are used to having a filter where you have a single way to filter your emails.
Correct.
In fact, there are 14 different criteria we let you choose. You can use as many of them and any combination you want to drill down and find the information you're looking for. So, just to give you a small example, let's say you're looking for, Ramin is looking for a PDF file sent by Dan maybe 18 months ago, Hylyt. Now, imagine how much time do you think it will take him to find that?
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, listen closely, folks. Because this is something that you want, because I know I want it, and I know that everyone else that I know wants it.
And the amazing thing is that it applies to the use cases are sort of unlimited. One of my guys and I were getting ready to upgrade the network. It's in an apartment complex, and 6 months ago, somebody took a picture of the serial number on the back of a switch. Whose phone was it on?
How did they send it to you?
And did
was
they
it
send
email?
it to
Was
me?
it text?
Was it text?
IM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's like there is
right.
He and I are in a dead panic because I'm like, well, crap. Now we got to apply this license key to this new system.
those are the problems we can help you solve. Because whoever took it puts it on Hylyt, and it's your shared and controlled workspace.
Yeah,
and everybody has access. You tag it, and it's available.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Now, Ramin, you
Yes.
and I were talking about security and ownership of data, especially with GDPR and other protocols that are coming online or have been online.
Have been online, yeah.
And you were talking about like cloud versus host. What was your question?
Oh yeah, so I mean, this is something that obviously we run into a lot. Is does the customer keep their stuff on if they want to keep something on a premise-based server versus putting it in the cloud like Box.com or some other service? Can they still is Hylyt something that can accommodate that?
Sure. So Hylyt is here to help the customers. Our prime objective is to help customers and make sure they keep their data safe. So, firstly, your data, although our basic storage is on the likes of DigitalOcean and AWS, but we give all the clients an option. They can host the data on a server of their choice. Now, this server can be in any city, any country in the world, because a lot of people want their data within their country. It can be ideally on a cloud server, and just because of latency issues. But if somebody wants it hosted on their server in their premises, it's possible. Hylyt can do that.
Okay.
Not only that, if if a consumer, of course, Hylyt has very good security, all the standard 256-bit encryption, etc. But if a customer is really concerned about security and they want to have some additional security layers, obviously at some additional cost of customization, we are happy to work with their team and implement that additional security as well. So, Hylyt is not a boxed product you buy off the shelf or you buy online and that's it. A Hylyt is a solution which is here to solve your problem.
And following on from that, you had mentioned that, for larger organizations or for managed service providers that want to provide this kind of a service to their clients, there's options for white labeling as well. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, there are two modules there. One, of course, in Hylyt, we have semi-white labeling, which is at no extra cost, which can be done, which means that your login screens, your URL, inside the product, it can be all your branding rather than Hylyt. So it feels as your product for your entire team, all your stakeholders. Even on the mobile screen, on Androids, we are able to give you your logo and your name. iOS doesn't give us that permission yet. But in addition to that, if, let's say, at additional cost, if you want a full white label solution which carries your name completely, even that is possible.
Okay.
If you want, that completely or complete ownership. So it's like your corporate product. It's not some other.
So it's your corporate solution as opposed to something we're getting from the outside, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Talk to us about threads and thread management.
Okay. Yeah, this is very interesting. Now, we all know that we at one time we were on paper trails, right?
Yes. Still am.
Then emails came in, right? And then the chat and collaboration platforms came in. And today, chat and collaboration platforms are kind of ruling a lot of things happening in the business world, right?
Correct.
Which is why we have such huge collaboration platforms making such huge valuation and really very hugely popular, right? So they've become part of main business. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, I'm sure we all have our chat and collaboration groups where to manage our immediate group of teams or any specific teams. And in that specific group or channel, there's a lot of conversation which goes on. You could be discussing client issues, you could be discussing operational issues, any team member issues, future plans. Before you realize it, there are hundreds of messages in that group. Yep. Am I right?
Very quickly. It adds up very, very quickly. I mean, even in a short set of communications.
Absolutely. So a quick question for you. Now, if you had to find everything or all communication in response to any specific topic discussed in that group, any event, any incident, how easy or difficult is it for you to do that today? Let's not name any platform, but on any platform, the problem is the same.
Well, what you would have to do is go back through and scroll back through hundreds of messages, hoping that your eye catches as it goes by.
You can search. You can search for keywords and things like that, and it will bring up X number of emails or X number of chat conversations, and then you click on that, and it takes you to one section. You like, oh, it's not that. Oh, I got to go back again and search for it to get the whole thing again. I mean, depending on the platform, but yeah, it's not a friendly experience.
No.
Absolutely. So, on Hylyt, we realized that, and we realized that the way collaboration is growing, and that is the future of all business communication. So, the way in a folder structure, you have subfolders.
Yeah.
Right.
So, on Hylyt, in our chat conversation, we gave you subchats, which we call threads. So what it does is, without having to create multiple groups in the same group or in the same one-to-one chat window, you could have multiple threads of conversation depending on specific topics you're doing. Now, it doesn't stop there. Uh, each thread can be categorized, and as a result, when we were remember we were talking about smart folders, so and connected to a smart folder. That
Nice.
okay, this. So just to give you again a very interesting use case. Now, let's say you are the sales head of a company
Right.
with teams in different states of United States, right?
Right. Yep.
You have a collaboration group for each state. Now, in that each group, you can categorize the chats, the entire conversations happening on a few criteria. One could be client feedback, one could be client testimonials, third one could be leads, fourth problems, and fifth could be general communication. I'm just giving a few names out
sure.
there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
and
sure.
you could have the same, you can have the same structure in all the 10 groups. Now, you sitting in the head office as the sales manager, you could have a smart folder just looking at the leads thread across all 10 groups. They will all show up in your smart folder.
Nice.
Even say, only show me for the last 10 days. So with zero effort, you are seeing in real time all the leads getting generated in your entire region in the last 10 days. Not only that, you can respond there, and it goes down to your team, to the actual guy who's handling the lead.
I think another kind of way to think about that for the general population might be something like a hashtag. But you'd have to put that after every single conversation. And like, hi, Jim, how are you doing? Hashtag, we're going to do this. Oh, I'm good, thanks. Hashtag, we're going to do this. And so that obviously doesn't work. But Threads, is a simplified and more intuitive way of doing that.
Right.
That's a nice one, Dan. I didn't think of that. I think I'm going to use that in the
future. You're welcome. There will be an invoice in the mail very shortly. Yeah, no, but the beauty of that is that, as you say, if I'm the sales manager, the system actively updates based on my criteria in terms of what I need to see to run my business.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're the sales manager, you're seeing the leads. If you're the social media guy, you're seeing the testimonials. If you're a production guy, you're seeing the orders. This can be applied anywhere in anything.
Yeah.
Right. Organization. Yeah.
But it's active, our organization, which is interesting, right? As opposed to
once you get into that groove, once you get into
that mindset,
the whole flow and the mindset, it just takes off.
Yeah.
So, what's the deal then between smart folders, threads, and tags?
Okay,
so hashtags.
Because talking about hashtags, right?
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so remember, like now, tags are basically the backbone or the nerve center of Hylyt. That is the one basic thing which helps us create everything else we have done on Hylyt. Now, remember we were talking about that. Okay, you could have something sitting on email, something sitting on a chat platform, something sitting on cloud storage, browser, etc.
Right.
Now, you need to get it onto one platform. Now, firstly, that is a challenge because cloud storages can handle certain formats, not all formats. Now, Hylyt is actually 6 products in one to help you manage all the information that matters. So Hylyt ended up being 6 products in one. I'm just going to take a sidebar and just say something so that I can connect it to the tags.
Fine.
Okay, so in order to give you a complete information management solution, Hylyt ended up being 6 products in one. So Hylyt as a single platform can help you do your complete collaboration. It's a complete collaboration platform. It's a complete note-taking platform. It's a complete reminder management solution, a complete calendar, a video conference solution, and a cloud storage management. So as a result, Hylyt can manage formats which are not managed by cloud storage. It can manage your reminders, your calendars, chat conversations, text notes, everything in one platform.
Nice.
In a structured way rather than just storing them. Okay. So now that was one advantage. We can on Hylyt, you can get all the information on one platform to see the complete picture. But let me ask you to show you what I'm talking about in tags. Let's say you are using WhatsApp, okay, and you have 3 different conversations happening with 3 people in your team about Hylyt. Now, these are some customers who have shown interest about Hylyt and you're talking to them.
Right.
Is there a way for you to mark those conversations that these are people interested in Hylyt? Is there a way for you to do that?
Not easily. Not easily. No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
and no platform has it, because that's not what these platforms are made for.
Right.
correct.
Right. So that is where we come in. So Hylyt introduced the concept of meta tags on user data. Now, the concept of meta tags has been used in a lot of different places, but
Correct.
it's normally used either for indexing web pages for SEOs, or it's used in relational databases. But Hylyt is one of the first ones to introduce it for using it for user level data, it at the hands of the consumer to organize and structure their data. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can give all your information a particular tag. You can give it, in fact, multiple tags. As a result, you could have 500 pieces of information sitting in 50 folders of 10 different formats, all connected by a single tag, which is called a single thread, which we call meta tag on Hylyt.
Nice.
And piece of information can have 10 such meta tags. So we are helping you create a very powerful interconnected web of information at the back end, and making your information 10 times more powerful, we say, compared to what it is today. And mind you, we are a patent pending solution where most of these things are all patented, and we have patents filed in India, US, and a global PCT, because obviously we want to stay ahead of the competition as long as possible.
Right. And so if somebody wants to find out some more information, where should they go?
So they can visit our website, hylyt.co. So Hylyt is spelled as Hylyt. So hylyt.co, they can go to their website. They can look me up on LinkedIn. I'm very happy to talk to them. They can look up by Hylyt or by my name, Rajat Singhania.
We'll have the links in the show notes.
We will put the links in the show notes for everybody to be able to reach out and take a look for themselves.
I would say, honestly, 2021, great resolution.
Yes.
Look up Hylyt, take the demo. There is a demo, right?
Yes, of course. We look forward to showcase our unique strengths and how we can help you live your life and work better.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
That's wonderful.
And I just want to say, Raja, it's been an absolute pleasure. We love your product. I think the more people know about it, the more popular it will become, and it will snowball. Honestly, I don't think anyone else is doing quite what you do, and I think you're helping the world. And in 2021, we need all the help we can get.
We need all the help we can get.
Perfect. And I just want to give 2-3 sentences there. If you're struggling with your cloud storage, that besides the vertical storage across the folder structure, you want to have a horizontal connect on your files across folder structures, or you want to connect files on multiple cloud storages, Hylyt is what you need. If you're looking for your personal video conference solution hosted on your private server, Hylyt does it for you. And if you have multiple offices and you need your private chat platform working only for you with the entire data in your control hosted on your server, Hylyt can do it for you. Those are the kind of unique things where Hylyt can fit in very well with your business needs. and we are here to help you and make you work and smarter and better. And
Wonderful.
our tagline says it all. Hylyt is here to make you powerful, productive, and profitable. Is that not what business is all about?
That is exactly what business is all about.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you, man. We really appreciate you coming on the show. This has been great. What I'd love for you to do is periodically stop by again and
Absolutely.
tell us what's new at Hylyt, and give us updates. I think this would be good to do a recurring sort of show on, just to see what you're up to and see what new things you're doing, and see what successes you've had.
Great. It'll be my pleasure. Thank you so much, Ramin. Thank you, Dan, and wish you all a very happy 2021.
Yes, 2021.
Yes.
I've come up with a new hashtag for 2021. Hashtag fun in 21. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Fun in 21. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I'm sure most of us can connect to that one.
Absolutely.
Right.
So that's it. Wonderful, man. Thank you so much, Rajat, for coming by.
Thank you again.
And thank you, guys. And please you can follow our LinkedIn and Facebook pages.
And
of course, I'll be happy to be back here to update you again. Our social media handles are Hylyt View, HYLYT VIEW.
Sweet.
On both LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, we have the same handle. Would be great to connect to you guys and
sounds good to me.
Get your thoughts on how to make it even better. We are here to highlight the world.
There you go. I like that. Let's highlight the world.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for stopping by. This has been Two Blokes and a Mic, and another wonderful episode with some great people joining us to help us make this world a better place. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Rajat. We're going to be signing off. We've taken up enough of your time for this episode, as we normally do. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Have a wonderful new year. Let's have fun in 21.
Absolutely.
This is Two Blokes and a Mic, and Rajat from Hylyt signing out. Cheers.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.